Wonder what Dave Ramsey has to say about this. Home equity theft by the tax collector. Because Dave Ramsey has done a big disservice in telling people that reverse mortgages are scams. And that he cited a Washington Post article where some lady got put out, and Dave Ramsey blamed the reverse mortgage. Had nothing to do with the reverse mortgage. Had to do with the lack of paying the property tax. And that's just a fact. And I'm going to show you that when it comes to property tax, dude, the government is not your friend. That's all there is to it. And to focus your ire on the reverse mortgages and insinuate that people are crazy to even consider those when they're freaking the biggest asset they have is the equity in their home is nuts. Anyway, so here we go. This is from the Hoover Institute, January 3rd, 2023. And here's the article. Home equity theft by the tax collector. The government's right to collect back taxes doesn't allow it to confiscate property. Oh, that's what you think. But check this out. Recently, the United States Supreme Court decided to hear the case of Tyler versus Hennepin County. Where's Hennepin County? Minnesota, that bastion of liberalism, whose factual history reads like Greek legal tragedy. The story, as recounted in Reason magazine, involves Geraldine Tyler, a 94-year-old woman. I wonder what... Black too there, you freaking clowns in Minnesota. All clowns. We're social justice warriors. Black lives matter. Not for this poor lady. And if she's white, it'd just be as evil. The hypocrisy of the left knows no bounds. I freaking despise that stuff. I hate it. Anyway, so here's Miss Geraldine Tyler, a 94-year-old woman who suffered from... I just wonder where the Black Lives Matters people are here. Where all the freaking NAACP? Where are you guys? There's no one out there. We got to leave it to freaking libertarian and right-wing rags. It's freaking nuts. Anyway, it involved Geraldine Tyler, a 94-year-old woman. Where's the AARP? Where's the Senior Citizens League? What's that, Mary Johnson? Freaking, where's all the... where's freaking, what's that chick's name from... what's her name? Omar, that clown, that crazy clown. Because I think she represents a district right down here, too. She's a 94-year-old woman who suffered from the all too common frailty of falling behind on her property tax. At first, she owed only $2,300, but as in common in most states, steep interest charges began to accrue the moment the debt was not paid. For Miss Tyler, that meant her property debt plus hefty interest and fees mushroomed to $15,000. From $2,300 to $15,000 in a couple of years. Had the government been a private lender in the consumer market, the agencies like the CFPB that Elizabeth Warren was she the first boss of it, would have explored ways to limit these exactions. For long-standing law governing mortgages hold that the lenders may not just keep the proceeds. Oh, let's see, right here. I got all these things up here. For long-standing law, let's see. In this context, Minnesota's Hennepin County rejected the principle. It did not. Right here. For long-standing law. All right, long-standing law governing mortgages hold that lenders may not just keep the proceeds of foreclosure sales. Instead, private lenders may at most collect principal, interest, and fees, and they must return any sum in excess of the amount that surplus the equity to the borrower. However, Minnesota's Hennepin County rejected that. It did not stop with the collection of the total debt. Instead, when the obligation had not been repaid, the county seized Miss Tyler's property. Oh, get out of here, Apple. I don't want your stupid notes because I don't care about Apple. Freaking stupid left-wing notes. Here, they seized her property. Who's that guy right back there? They seized her property. Let's see. The county seized the property, sold it for $40,000, satisfied the $15,000 due to Hennepin County. And what did they do with the rest? They pocketed the rest of the money. Miss Tyler received nothing. No wonder Reason magazine used the evocative term home equity theft. It's crazy. Indeed, what happened to Miss Tyler could happen to property owners in 11 other states: Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Illinois, Alabama, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and Maine. Fortunately, most states, the vast majority in the South, except right here, come on, Alabama, get out of there. Fortunately, most states have recognized the punitive nature of these claims and reverted to the rule applying to private mortgages, which again is going on foreclosure. The private lenders may collect principal, interest, and fees, but they must return any sum excess of that. So the question is, how was it that the Eighth Circuit Court sustained the practice that wiped Ms. Tyler out? The most dramatic sentence in his opinion reads, where state law recognizes no property interest in surplus proceeds from a tax foreclosure sale conducted after adequate notice to the owner, there is no unconstitutional taking. At this point in the analysis, it sounds as if the state may keep the surplus simply by announcing its intention to do so, because that's what the thing says. After adequate notice to the owner, there is no unconstitutional taking. Just, let's read what Reason says here. In 2010, this stuff makes me just so freaking ticked. That's sad. I feel like crying and punching walls at the same time. Here, look, freaking, can we have some dignity for our senior citizens, you freaking scumbags in government? Oh, this pisses me off. In 2010, Miss Tyler moved out of her Minnesota condo, which she owned, in response to a series of local incidents that made her feel unsafe. You think? Crime. That included a nearby shooting. She relocated to an apartment. Ah, dude, how I despise the left. They say they're for the weak and the lesser endowed financially. Nothing could be further from the truth. Oh, it's so freaking evil. They allow criminals to run the streets, preying on innocent people like Miss Tyler. And then what happens? Miss Tyler says, I'm getting out of Dodge. And then they freaking still take advantage of it. It's so freaking just corrupt. All right, so she moved out of she relocated to an apartment in a different neighborhood, but struggled to afford both her rent and property taxes on the condo, accruing the I think that'd be mortgage, accruing the $2,300 in back taxes. The vast majority of what she ended up owing, however, was not the property tax; it was the additional $13,000 in penalties. I mean, what? So she 550% increase in back taxes on penalties. That's freaking illegal. This is insane. And people say Sharia law is so horrible because of whatever usury law. This is what makes people turn to become more radical in their orthodoxy. It's just all there is to it. You can't have old ladies having subject to 550% increase in fees and taxes. We need usury laws, dude. That's all there is to it. We need to have some usury laws. We need to go back. They have to be Sharia law specifically. I'm not even all that familiar with it, frankly, but it does scare me because as Muslims, oh my goodness. No, I just think we need to go back to some semblance of freaking common. We can't have this. We can't have this. People need to be tried for this kind of crap. That's all there is to it. We've got to look. I'm the biggest hypocrite. I fell for the libertarian side. Oh, just let people. 100%. You have to have some semblance of structure, man. And this ain't it, dude. And this is just pick. We're gonna choose this poor lady. She's a poor black woman, afraid of crime. She got no one to take her side. We're gonna go after her like with a freaking weight of Solomon's, all his money, and she'll lose. And she did. What the state took had little to do. Oh, right here. All right. So anyway, so she didn't have the 2,300, much less the 15,000. So state foreclosed on the condo and sold it to satisfy the debt. What Tyler didn't expect after selling the property for 40,000 is the government pocketed the rest of the 25,000 bucks. Which is exactly what happened to Wanda Hall of Oakland County, Michigan, when she too accrued a property tax debt. Hall, who lived in a house with her husband and children, set up a payment plan with the local authorities. She eventually fell $900 behind. The total tax bill came to $22,000. Not unlike Tyler, the government seized her home, sold it to collect the debt, and unlike the Tylers, their home was worth more than $300,000. Miss Tyler, the Hall's home was worth more than $300,000. The state kept the change. We agree, says Tyler and Hall, that the government can seize the property to collect a debt. What it can't do is more than so. See, now we're even giving them, but this is the wrong answer. They should not be allowed to charge that kind of usury. They shouldn't. It's because then you can say, okay, I mean, literally, this is a stupid argument. We agree that the government can seize the property to collect a debt, but it cannot do is take more than is owed. But then the government can say, all right, we're going to take whatever your equity. We're owed your equity. That's the back tax. That's your equity. This is where we've screwed up, us on the right. we said, oh, we'll tolerate a little bit, tolerate a little bit, tolerate a little bit. And now we're like, oh, now we got freaking, did you see this? I posted on my YouTube channel yesterday. I mean, it's freaking, I'll show you here one sec. Here. I mean, it used to be, look, it made sense if you love somebody, you guys should be able to get married and have the same property or the legal rights as any marriage couple in terms of Social Security benefits, for spousal benefits, survivor benefits, all that stuff. And now it's this right here. And wait till this June. This June is going to be great. Great. Ugh. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We allowed the camel in, the camel's nose in, and now the whole thing is falling apart. And not just for that stupid stuff. Because frankly, I don't care. It's like so embarrassing. Well, our crew is this way. Let me tell you who our crew has sex with, and we'll be proud. It's like, no one cares. Are you going to get me to point A to point B on time safely? But this is what happens, dude. You give a foot and they take a yard. Give a yard, they take 50. And then next thing you know, you're on your 1 inch line, and you got one guy as a middle linebacker, and the rest of your defense is freaking sitting in Antarctica, just drinking beers. Like, oh, it's crazy. It should be illegal, and people should go to jail for even proposing this stuff. That we're going to take some poor lady. In Nebraska, people are shocked how the law actually operates. There's Nebraska. In that state, people who fall behind their property tax are bought out without their knowledge by private investors. That changes after 3 years go by when they finally get notice in the mail. I can't take it. All right, there's your government for you. Yeah, this is America, dude, the land of the free. Screw that. This is nuts. Let's go back to, let's make an agreement with the Muslims. We'll meet you halfway on Sharia law. How about that? And I don't know what Sharia law is. We'll meet you halfway. We need a change, and we need it desperately, and we need it now, because this is freaking nuts. Now, with that said, don't think the old days MAGA was better. I mean, there's tons of them. No. The old days weren't any better. This was happening all the time back then. It's just there's no publicity because we have the internet. This stuff's been happening all the time. And just get back to an example. It was illegal for you in Arkansas to build coffins. Why? Because a monopoly was granted to one coffin builder company. And if you tried to build coffins, it was illegal. That's a fact, Jack. If you're a black woman doing African braids in Maricopa County, Arizona, it was illegal for you to do that unless you went to like 3,000 hours of cosmology school. You're like, but the cosmology school doesn't teach an African braiding. It was illegal. Ultimately, you get fined and go to jail. That's just a fact. In Harrisonburg, Virginia, I know this very well because a friend of mine, he used to run a competing cab company against the powers that be, the monopoly that was established by the county, the city in this case. It was illegal. Literally, he had to go to court many times for giving cab rides at a cheaper price than what the monopolistic cab company was doing. And you know how they said, how he was going to be granted approval to be a cab company is what's called the heckler's veto. The current constituent had to agree that they couldn't meet the demand. And literally, so for him to be operating under the guise of law lawfully, the current incumbent, I'd probably a better word, had to say, yeah, we can't meet the demand. And if the current incumbent said no, it's called heckler's veto. This guy was operating against the law. He got pulled over, fined, and if you don't pay your fines, you go to jail. And again, going back to Dave Ramsey. So Dave Ramsey, when you all talk about your home equity theft and not paying and people being put out because of reverse mortgage, do you ever think maybe you're wrong, dude? Ever think there's a whole lot more than this? This isn't to say Dave Ramsey agrees with this insanity. I'm not saying that. I'm saying but when you use a hyperbolic term against a product that's an inanimate object, a firearm is neither good nor evil. A firearm is not a scam. Whole life insurance is not a scam. Reverse mortgages aren't a scam. Mortgages aren't a scam. Investing in annuities isn't a scam. Can they be used that way? Sure. But when you say this and all encompassing, you're turning people away from looking at a source of equity that could get them out of their crappy old job and basically salvage their life. Anyway, all right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.